Hi, this is Maginoni, and here's my review for Billy Majestic's Humpty Dumpty. This is a comic put out by Revenger Comics through IDW. Now, Humpty Dumpty, I'm going to start off this way. I think the cover is really striking. You know, when I saw this cover, I was like, ho ho ho, what's inside? And I have to admit, when I first saw Humpty, I was a little like, are you sure you want to do this type of design? But then everything makes perfect sense, and I'm okay with it. Now, the art, I'm going to start off with this. The art is just simply fantastic. It has this, I guess you can say there's like a 3D-like quality to it that's not quite 3D, if you know what I mean. There's times where the images just seem to pop out, and there's a definite foreground and a background type thing. It doesn't look flat. A lot of the images are dark. Sometimes it's okay, and I think other times it's basically hiding a lot of the beautiful illustration. Here's some examples here where it has like almost a photo-like realism to it, and I can panel like this. You can tell it just seems like everything's just popping out. Now, the gist of the story is this: you have these two guys who are living out in the basically rednecks in the swamps, Purvis and Petus. And they're not what I would call upstanding people of the community. I gotta be careful what page I show you. What happens is Purvis one day discovers a UFO landing, and he goes to investigate it, and he basically just takes care of business. He kills the aliens, except for a male and a female, and he basically just rapes the female. And they take her home, they sexually abuse her over the next few months, and the next thing you know, she's pregnant. Now, what I thought they did a really good job with, in terms of, now, you really feel sympathetic to the alien. The way they drew the alien it's extremely well done. I can't show it because of certain scenes, but it has a real sense of emotion on the character, and it really draws you in and makes you feel for the character. It doesn't help that Purvis is doing it right on his mom's gravesite, but it's a very disturbing scene, and it just gets crazy from there. Now, what you see is, the sheriff figures out there's something going on, and then they go to investigate, and eventually what happens is you get the birth. And the art is just, again, it's really well done, but unfortunately, like these scenes here, it's just so dark. Now, I'm trying to avoid giving too much, but what I can say is this: with the Humpty character, he's like a twisted creature that can absorb DNA of animals he eats. So the first thing he gets, basically, as soon as he's born, he's like ripped apart by raccoons, and just this lump of flesh just kind of lands in the water, where he basically eats a frog, and from the frog he gets the legs, and chaos ensues. Now, the creature itself, like I said, it looks odd, but if you look at the potential of alien that's angry, that can absorb DNA, and it's got this crazy long tongue with a hand at the end, you can really do a lot of things going into the future with it. Let me see if I can get another picture for you. The scene here where he's with his dead mom, it's just really well done. The face is kind of this twisted version of Purvis and the mom, and it's ugly, but at the same time it's like such a really well done scene. Now, obviously at the end, Humpty's going to get his revenge, and I won't spoil the rest. But what I will say is, overall, this comic kind of surprised me. It just has, you don't really think, like, you're not going to get much from it, but as you're experiencing it, there's so much that was put into it. One thing I will say on the bad side is there's a couple scenes where you can tell it's like something's missing, like they jumped too much. Like, there's a part where the Humpty's mom is killed, and then Humpty's born. He attacks Purvis and Petus when they arrive and see the body, and then when they run away, and the next thing you see Humpty right there at their house. So it's like, I don't know if it's a page count issue, but I wouldn't have minded to see like a bridge between those two scenes. And there's a couple other times where I think something like would have been nice to see, just to fill in the gap a little bit. Overall, I have to say, if you like horror, this is definitely, you're going to want to get this. I think overall it's really well written. It's kind of it's different. It's really different. The art is fantastic, and it's ugly, and at the same time, because it's ugly, it's really beautiful because of the artwork. It's just so well done. I can't say that enough. So if you're a fan of like dark storylines, this is definitely one that you're going to want to get. If you have any comments or questions, let me know. Rate the video up or down. Let me know what you think. And I'll have more reviews up later. So until next time.